Hi there, welcome back to The Taste of Life. So today I am sharing with you the third story in step one, claiming your power. The first step on your journey to a life of freedom, of joy, of well-being, of limitless possibilities. And after the prison of perfectionism and the weight of guilt, today we're talking about stress. Stress and the disempowering effect it has on your life. Now, you will ask the question, well, how can we get rid of stress if we cannot change the situation? Because take, for example, the situation that's going on in the world right now. Indeed, we cannot change that. We cannot change what's going on. We cannot change the fact that we have to stay inside. We cannot change anything about it. So you will ask, well, then how can we change our level of stress? And it all comes down again to how you look at stress. So I would like to share with you my story, the way that I changed my view of stress, how I experience it, and how it changed my experience of life in general. And especially in this situation that's going on right now, it has been very helpful for me to have this change of mindset and to know to look inside instead of outside for what is causing my stress. But let me not get ahead of myself and start with the beginning. So for most of my life, I also experienced stress as something that was caused by external factors. So it could be by my job, by my children, by finances, by an illness. My stress was caused by all these outside factors. And it would usually result in physical discomfort. When I was going through my college years, it was the exams that were causing my stress. And that would result in physical discomfort of not being able to breathe, not being able to eat anymore, not being able to sleep. And I brought it all back to my exams and the stress of studying and, everything that goes with it. And then when I got married and had children, then I was stressed out because of the fact that I had to combine my job with my family, and that would result in high blood pressure and all kinds of physical discomfort that we all know goes together with stress. So again, it was an area in my life where I gave all my power away, and it was indeed resulting in physical ailments and physical discomfort. But I was also convinced that there was nothing I could do about it because there were these external factors and situations, and there was nothing I could do to change them. So there was nothing I could do about my stress, or so I thought. So we come back to the question is, what can you do about stress if the circumstances outside of you are unavoidable and unchangeable? Well, have you ever noticed how stress is different for everybody? How certain situations are stressful for one person and are merely exhilarating for another person? Have you ever noticed that? How for you a certain event or a certain situation is very stressful, and you feel how it affects you and how you feel everything in your body reacting to it by a tightening, and how for other people that same situation, that same event may cause just a feeling of excitement and happiness, and they're really looking forward to it, or they're really excited to be in that situation. So can we say that stress is not caused by the situation, but by how you react to it? So was maybe my stress as a teenager not caused by my exams, but by my fear of failing? Or was maybe my stress as a mom and as a wife not caused by the fact that I was combining a job and my family, but merely by my idea of who I had to be, of my image? At that time, to me, it was definitely caused by all these external factors. And it wasn't until, again, after my cancer diagnosis that I started to change my mindset. Because when I was diagnosed with cancer, well, that was the epitome of stress. I had never been so stressed out in my whole life. And when I was going on this journey, I started to realize that it was not the cancer that had caused my stress or was causing my stress, but it was because I was trying to hold on to who I was before. It was because I was dealing with my lifelong fear of dying. And I wanted to be in control, and I was out of control. And that was what was causing my stress, not the cancer. So it was, in fact, not the external situation that was causing my stress, but it was how I was reacting to it. And how I was reacting to it was all coming from the beliefs that I was holding on to. And this belief that I was holding on to, I discovered, was when I'm out of control. So losing control means dying. Losing control to me equaled dying. And because I was completely out of control in this situation, it was extremely stressful for me because it was feeding into this very, very old belief that losing control meant dying. So, and again, you see, we come back that everything that we are experiencing in life and it is disempowering us, taking our power away, is being born inside of us out of these old beliefs. And yes, I keep coming back to it. And yes, it is always the same beliefs that are at the root of these experiences, because those are the ones that are the deepest, and those are the ones that are the most unrecognizable, and those are the ones that step by step we are dealing with. And that is why in all these stories they keep coming back, and you will go back to the same belief over and over again, because it is by looking at this belief from all these different angles, whether it is stress or guilt or perfectionism, in the end, they will always come down to the same old beliefs, because step by step you're working on those, because these beliefs are so deeply rooted in your being that it would be impossible to yank them out in just one big pull. And that is why we are working through them step by step, because at first it may be even other beliefs that are coming up first, beliefs that are laying on top of these deeply rooted beliefs and that are easier to discover, that will come up first. And then we go deeper and deeper, peeling back layer by layer of all these beliefs, that are no longer serving us, and working on them. Because when I was on my journey, what I discovered was that my most deeply rooted beliefs and the most difficult ones to discover were indeed the belief, as I just mentioned, that losing control equals dying. And the other belief was I'm not good enough. And by going through all these different steps and all these different stories, I was able to go deeper and deeper into these beliefs, so that I could transform them, so that I could transcend them and really step into my life of freedom. And that is why I'm taking you through these stories, and that is why I'm taking you on this journey of step by step claiming your power and stepping on the bridge and cross the bridge into that life of freedom and of joy and of limitless possibility. And that is why I'm sharing my experiences with you, so that step by step, and by looking at all these different situations in your life and realizing that it all comes down to the beliefs that you're holding on to and that are really coloring your experience of life, and how you can change that and really empower yourself in your experience of life. So coming back to stress, so what I discovered and what I've been working on my journey was that my stress was not caused by anything outside of me, but again was born inside of me. And it was born outside of the fact how I was reacting to certain situations. Because what I discovered was that even when you take away all the external factors, our mind will always find a reason to be stressed. Whether it's about the weather, whether it's about gaining weight, whether it's about car trouble, there will always something that our mind can find to be stressed about. So my journey was bringing awareness to my reactions and discovering the belief behind my reaction and trying to change my reaction by changing my belief. Now, was that easy? No, it was definitely not easy, but it was definitely worth it. It was and is a journey with ups and downs, because stress for me as well, it will show up in my life. The difference is that now I know that I have the power to change my reaction to it. I know now that it is not caused by whatever is going on around me. I know now that it is caused by my reaction to it. So the root of stress is inside of you. Whatever is going on outside of you, whatever is going on around you, it is you who decides how you're going to react to it and what your level of stress is going to be. Even when the situation is extremely difficult, it is still you who decides what your level of stress is going to be. So changing your mindset about stress, again, is claiming your power and taking that first step, stepping into freedom. So basically, that is what I wanted to share with you today. And again, I will leave you with a few tips on how you can start on changing your mindset about stress. And as a first step, I would like you to take a close look at situations that cause you stress, or that you think cause you stress, because as we know now, it's not the situation that's causing it, but it's your reaction to it. But anyway, so look at situations that are causing a feeling of stress inside of you. And then ask yourself the question, can I change how I react to these situations? And if your answer is no, then ask yourself the question, what can be the belief that is holding me back? And if the answer is yes, then ask yourself, what reaction would create a better experience? So I will leave you with that for now. Thank you so much for joining me. I really enjoyed talking to you today. Again, if you want to reach out to me, then please feel free to do so. As always, my website is listed below. And I hope to see you again next week when we will talk about the power of our body and illness, how that is related and how we can claim that power back. That is basically our right, and that is basically what we all hold inside of us, even when it comes to illness. So I hope to see you again next week, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye for now.